How you doing, guys? This is Flex1296, and today I'm bringing you part 3 of my transfer window footy talk. So let's dive straight into it. First off today, we're going to be starting with West Ham. Very good season for them last season. I didn't think they'd actually do as well as they had done, but they proved me wrong. Definitely, the signing of Dimitri Payet was seen as a stroke of genius as far as they were concerned. So they had European football, and then during the qualifiers, they lost European football. So that's not good, especially when you consider that they've just moved into their brand new stadium. But they have gone and they have spent some money, namely Andre Ayew for 20 million. They managed to sign Lanzini, who they had on loan from last season. Masuaku, left back, that they did need to strengthen that position. They also bought Arbeloa on a free on the final day, and Gokantora, a winger. So they have spent some money this season in West Ham, and they needed to, moving into a new stadium and with the possibility of European football before they got knocked out was obviously something that they needed to address, and they had done, and then unfortunately, like I say, got knocked out. So they spent, and they also kept Payet, which was a big boost to them. They could have easily have lost Payet. He played very well throughout the whole of last season. He played very well during the Euros, but they did manage to keep hold of him, and that is good for West Ham. As far as outgoings, not many. Just only in the form of James Tompkins, who went to Crystal Palace, and also Enner Valencia, who went on loan to Everton. Like I say, there's a lot of teams that are trying to cram into them top 4 spots, and then them top 6 spots, and then them top 8 spots. So it is going to be extremely difficult. European football definitely wouldn't have helped them. European football definitely would not have helped them in that respect, depending on how far they got. But because that's not an issue now, maybe they can more focus on the league and try again next season. Next, we'll go to Southampton. Southampton, they went and they signed Sofiane Dufal. Sorry if I'm getting that name wrong. For a record fee. And they also went and signed Nathan Redmond. Now, Redmond and Tadic have already started the season off pretty well. Them two on the wing seems a very dangerous sort of combination. So I'm very looking forward to seeing how that goes. Defoe, obviously you have to see how he develops in English football. But if Southampton's recruitment policy has been anything to go on in the past, they probably will have found a really good player. But again, though, it's mainly about the outgoing you're talking about. For the past few seasons, Southampton have let go a lot of their star players, mainly to Liverpool. How long can they keep on doing it? Probably, and it's strange because many teams that lose a lot of players don't normally recruit that well, but Southampton seem to do it season after season. They seem to have got a very good working scouting staff down there. They seem to find the perfect players to recruit, to replace, and they just seem to do it very effectively. And I can't see that stopping this season. But again, they have sold a few of their big players, mainly Mane to Liverpool. Pella has also gone, and Wanyama to Tottenham. 3 very big players, very big as part of last season and the season before. So it would just be interesting to see how they do this season with them gone, and how their new recruits kind of take off. Next we'll go to Swansea. Swansea, big loss in Andre Ayew to West Ham for 20 million. They also lost Ashley Williams, which was another big loss. But they did get a record signing in Baston. Not much known about him, unfortunately. But for 15 million, you've got to think that he's got to have something about him. Swansea just basically need goals. Is Fernando Llorente going to get goals? If they can get the service up to him, definitely. Leroy Fer was also another signing. He started off the season pretty well. Midfielder who I've always sort of liked. I think he's kind of the perfect midfielder. He's got a good long range shot on him. He can pass the ball really well. And again, he doesn't mind a challenge, so he'll definitely be one to watch as far as Swansea are concerned, and as far as the opposition are concerned as well. That was basically it for Swansea. It was a pretty quiet transfer window. There was not too much going on other than them two outgoings and them few incomings that were only ones of real note. Let's talk about Hull City. They have plenty of off-field problems at the moment, but they have started the season off really well. I think if you offered the Hull 6 points from their first 3 games, I bet they'd bite your hand off. They have signed Keane, Mason, and Mbakani. Mbakani's on loan in this window. Mbakani didn't really show much at Norwich. You saw potential there, but he didn't really show much at Norwich last season. Mason, we know plenty about Mason from his time at Tottenham. But with Hull's off-field problems and their lack of players, you really just needed them to strengthen. But for the type of team Hull are, he's probably the perfect fit. A battling team. He's got great stamina. He can run up and down the pitch for the full 90 minutes. So it's not a bad signing. As far as outgoings, selling Diarra, a huge player who was the decisive goal scorer in their playoff chase last season. Pretty huge loss, and also a couple of free transfers that have gone out the door as well. But other than that, they have managed to keep some of their big players such as Curtis Davis, Abel Hernandez, Diamande. So it's not been a terrible window for Hull, but I bet they would have liked to see a few more incomings. But like I said, 6 points from 3 games is not bad at all. Let's go to Bournemouth, and they've definitely spent some money this summer. Mainly on winger Jordan Ibe. Do I believe he's worth 15 million? Probably not, but he is a player that Bournemouth needed. He is definitely the type of player Bournemouth needed, a pacey sort of winger. They did need that type of player, and we just have to see how he develops, because he's still got a long way to go. He's still got a lot to learn, and he's just going to have to... Basically, he's just going to have to learn to make his decisions more wisely. At times at Liverpool, when he could have crossed or he could have passed, he decided to take a shot. And obviously, I just think that's going to come with age. But at the same time, if he can learn to do that, then that would be great for him, and he can develop more as an English winger. They also signed Brad Smith from Liverpool, a left back. They kind of needed to strengthen that area. Cook as well came in, and also surprisingly on the last day, Jack Wilshere, who became available within the last 48 or so hours of the transfer window. It's a good signing for Bournemouth, assuming you can keep him from constantly being injured. He is a good signing. He basically plays the Bournemouth style of football. He likes to play Bournemouth style of football, which is similar to Arsenal, in which they just pass and move, that lovely, slick and attractive flowing football. And Wilshere will fit into that system perfectly. Like I say, assuming he can stay fit and healthy. If he doesn't, the loan move will be a complete waste of time. It is a gamble, but it can pay off. Wilshere just needs to learn when to carry the ball, when to release the ball, because I feel at times he overextends a little, and it sort of makes him vulnerable to challenges, which probably do end up making him become injured. Matt Ritchie was the only high-profile name to be walking out the door at Bournemouth, going to Newcastle. Big loss, but they did replace him with Jordan Ibe. We just have to see how it goes. I don't think Bournemouth may have enough to stay up this season. I do think they might suffer from second season syndrome. I could be proved wrong. I have been doing in the past. So I love Bournemouth. They were very good last season, and I really enjoyed them for the type of football they played throughout the majority of it. They got a little bit predictable at times towards the end. I would like to see them stay up. I just can't see it happening. Moving on to Middlesbrough, another team that came up last season from the Championship, and they have definitely spent well. Victor Fisher, a young prospect who could grow into something special. They signed two goalkeepers in Brad Guzan and Victor Valdez, and they have also signed former Manchester City striker Alvaro Negredo. Negredo will need to get amongst the goals early. He has scored one goal already this season. We'd just like to see more from him. We didn't see enough of him at Manchester City, but then again, he was behind the likes of Edin Dzeko and Sergio Aguero, so it's no surprise that we didn't see enough from him when you consider that he's behind two great strikers. Two goalkeepers. I always find it strange when teams buy two goalkeepers, because you've got to have seen that one of them was going to be either the second goalkeeper or the first goalkeeper for the goalkeeper that's already there. But with Guzan and Valdez, you sort of know what to expect. A veteran goalkeeper. Guzan obviously was under fire a lot from Aston Villa last season, so he's definitely learned to prove himself in goal there. Good signings for a team that's just come up from the Premier League. I'll say that they are very good signings for that. So it is. So they have spent wisely. That's basically what I'm trying to say. They have spent definitely wisely in that department. And like I say, if they can get Negredo amongst the goals, if they can make their home a fortress, then they should stay up. I'm backing them to stay up. I don't think they have any doubts, I guess is the word, of not staying up. I could see it being a sort of just below mid-table kind of finish, like a 14th or something. But they have definitely recruited well. Maybe could have used maybe one more signing, like maybe a winger or something. But I don't think they can complain too much on that. Anyway, that's it for part 3. Stay tuned for part 4, in which we will be discussing Burnley, Watford, West Brom, and Sunderland. Thanks, guys, and as always, I will see you on the other side.